how has the community, being in the media, and a lot of people will be like, well, love to shit on media and whatnot. How has been, from your stance, the community reacted towards media, maybe even, Kenosha News or whatever, over the course of this year, especially? Because I feel like it's the relationship between like Americans and media has just continuously been getting worse, or at least they believe less and less.
I mean, we get the same kind of abuses. Mm-hmm. Whatever we write, we're either leaning one way or the other, and we get the fake news thing all the time. And we have the huge crowd of people that think Kyle Rittenhouse is a hero, and so they attack us when we write anything bad about Rittenhouse. We have a huge group of people that think Jacob Blake is the villain. Mm-hmm. Is he? I don't know. I mean, I'm not here to judge anybody. So they, we get it all the time, and we're an easy target. We're an easy target. The media's an easy target. When I was covering sports, everyone loved us because sports is a whole different kettle of fish. Now I'm in the middle of the news thing, so people will jump on us for anything. But as long a good friend of mine, I covered when one of the businesses downtown lost everything, and it was right after Trump had come. So I interviewed this furniture store owner about his situation. His building burned to the ground. Yeah. And he complimented President Trump quite a bit. And I quoted him. That's what he said.
Yeah, so you quoted it.
And I'm not a Trump fan. Everyone who knows me knows I'm not. But one of my friends reached out to me. He's like, I give you a ton of credit because I read the Trump quotes, and he's like, it probably killed you to say anything nice about Trump. And I wrote back to him. I said, I didn't say it. The guy I interviewed said it. Yeah. My job is to report what he said. Yeah. My goals has always been two things: accuracy and balance. If I'm accurate and I'm balanced, I've done my job. I'm not here to pass judgment on anyone, but people, when they read the media, they'll see what they want to see, or they see what, they pick out what they want.
So when you say accurate, that's obviously, covering it correctly. Misrepresenting it, but balance. What do you mean by balance?
I want to be balanced right down the middle. I don't want anyone to think that I'm leaning one way or the other. I don't want anyone to think. Anyone who knows me personally knows I can't stand Donald Trump. Yeah. But when I'm writing my stories, if Donald Trump is being praised by someone, I just write it. Obviously he's got a lot of supporters. I'm not one of them, but that's not when I'm working. That's not my job. Yeah. I need to be down the middle. Tell it exactly what it is. I think we get paid as reporters, as news journalists, to observe, to listen, to see things, to talk to people, to communicate, and then whatever happens, happens. I covered a court hearing before I came here today. I just covered what happened. I didn't make anything up. I had nothing against the man who got sentenced. I had nothing against, whatever happened. I just write it down, and I write it,
What do you think is the biggest thing that people, especially in America, don't maybe understand about media, being someone who works in the media or for the media? Like, what do you think that it is? Where does that disconnect maybe in your mind come from?
I think it's come from social media. Yeah. I think it's come, and I talked to a group of kids at Westosha a couple weeks ago, Mr. Franz, if you remember. Yeah. He's now teaching and coaching at Westosha Central. He was doing a unit on media, so he reached out to me. He said, would you mind? I said, I love doing that stuff. So I got on Zoom because he can't go in the schools, which was a bummer because I'd rather be in the classroom. But anyway, social media has made our jobs very difficult because now anyone with a computer and an internet link can call themselves a journalist. True. And they don't have to fact check anything. Yeah. I mean, bloggers don't have to fact check anything. They can write whatever they want. I'm a sports nut, and anyone can put out rumors on any trade that's going to happen. But if you're not Tom Hardecourt, who covers the Brewers for 30 years, I'm not sure I believe, Jimmy Joe Bob, who's in his mother's basement.
Well, there's a lot of people that have, I forget the company that even admitted to it. It was on the Patriot Act, Hassan Minaj. He was covering, and he actually got an interview with one of the guys who owned and started this company where they literally promote. It's completely fake news, and he knows. Yeah. So they have I think he owns two sites. I think he owns one completely far right, and one completely far left. Yeah. And what he does is, because he knows people just want to see what they want to see, right? And so your Facebook feed is who are you friends with, right? They all probably share similar views to you, right? So like he knew that like I'm gonna sell AdSense on my website. So if I just write this bullshit article for these people and then I do the exact opposite article, I'm hitting both markets,
right?
And he's just gonna make a ton of money, and he like has no shame in it,
right? And
there's a couple companies that do that, and that's like a slap in the face to someone like you and to people that are actually trying to do their job.
Yeah, it has really made it difficult, and I talked to some of those kids, and they all admitted, a lot of them admitted to me, they don't watch the news, they don't read the newspaper. I'm like, well, where do you get your news from? Facebook or Instagram. You guys are killing me.
Yeah.
They're all in school still, so not old enough to vote yet. But I told a couple of them, I said, you guys got to start educating yourselves, and don't believe everything. You got to fact check some stuff here and figure it out what's real and what's not.
Yeah.
And get your information from all different sources. I read multiple sources every day, and I'm on Washington Post, I'm on the New York Times, USA Today, Kenosha News. I mean, all that stuff. Yeah. And I just try to get it all in. But the bloggers that don't have to do the fact check, and the sites like the Kenosha County Scanner are scary because people are putting stuff out there that isn't real. And one example was during the George Floyd thing. Yeah. So that had happened, and we had riots in Kenosha. Mm-hmm. Someone on Kenosha County Scanner went on and said that the U.S. Cellular store was being burned to the ground or was being broken into. The owner of that store went there with his videotape, and it was fine.
Yeah.
But they did that to throw him off the scent,
Yeah.
So the fake news thing that has become the mantra that, the president likes to use,
yeah, that
has made life difficult, because there's journalists like me or like our whole staff who we're trained in this stuff. I've written thousands of stories. I've done this forever. We know what we're doing.
Yeah.
And not everyone does, and they don't have the sources that they can go to. Like, we'll call the lieutenant at the police department. Did this happen? No. Okay. Didn't think so. Thanks.
Yeah. But
that's the battle that we fight.
Yeah. It's tough. I think with social media too, like I was mentioning before, when it's your group of friends, it's, without trying to, come out any specific person or any specific point of view, if you and your friends only have ever known or lived one way, and so you maybe all have this very closed-minded, perspective on what reality is, and a couple of those friends are posting this thing, you're just going to believe, like, oh, well, these guys wouldn't lie to me, those are my best friends, whatever, but maybe they just don't know, you know, like maybe they just don't know. And that's what bothers me so much, is that it's pretty evident now. Like, I don't think people have the excuse, like, at least in my book, I don't excuse people for that. Like, I get you don't know, but you're choosing to not know. If you were going to choose to believe it because you saw two of your friends post it instead of reading one more article. Yeah. And most of the time it's just headlines too.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's just whatever is the shareable link.
Yeah.
Will get people. And I know that from, being like semi in media doing this, it's, if I post a thumbnail with, like, let's say I clip something out of this and it's like Kenosha protests, and I put something negative or even a positive connotation, and I put a picture of one of us, like, and then, police something on the other side, people are going to click that.
Oh yeah.
And other people will share it just thinking, oh, look at this idiot thinking he knows whatever, and they didn't even watch the video.
Right.
Or they didn't even read the article in most cases. And that, it scares me. It really does.
We've noticed a huge influx, and this is the younger generation that is watching and reading now. Photo packages on our website go crazy with the clicks. Oh, yeah. Crazy. Because nobody now, I shouldn't say nobody, most people now want their news like this. Yeah. And they want it in little snippets. I could write the most glorious story of the biggest hip hop sensation in Twin Lakes.
Do it, man.
Right?
Do it.
Thousands of words about you.
Yeah, yeah.
And people are going to look at the photos.
Yeah,
and especially your guys' age and even younger, than
it's
you
the
guys.
Thumbnail, man. That's what shares. That's why it's big on YouTube.
They want it now,
Yeah.
And as someone like me at my age, I still will take the Sunday newspaper in my hands and I'll read it cover to cover. Yeah. My dad, who's 70, refuses to. It takes him hours to read the Sunday Milwaukee Journal Sentinel. He meticulously goes, and that's what he does. That's his generation. Yeah. His generation isn't on the smartphones. I've got my smartphone right next to me. I'm just as guilty of it. Yeah, yeah. But we don't have attention spans anymore. We just don't.
No, we definitely don't.
It's all like gotta happen right now.
Hey, thanks for watching there, guy. Click right over here if you want to see that episode in its entirety. Or you can click over here and subscribe to the channel. See all the other fun shit we do here. It's really up to you, guy.